Good morning. Day 117. Cooking down the freezer and the pantry and the refrigerator. So, working on my food, working on my seeds, planting my garden, getting things ready for the summer. That's what I'm doing. So, the seed going is going pretty well. I'd like to get those all planted by this week. I have the family coming over for Easter, so I need to get all that stuff off my dining room table and off my wash machine, and it's going to be a project. So, lots of work to be done, but as always, first thing, coffee. I do love my morning cup of coffee. I used to drink coffee all day long. When I worked as a hairdresser, a couple of the places where I worked, the back room was pretty darn cold. So we'd all huddle back there and drink our coffee and talk. So because we worked on commission, and if we didn't have clients, we didn't get paid. So there was no point to just working. So we formed a lot of really nice friendships. And I still have two very good friends that I met when I worked at Hair Care Harmony. That was a chain salon that was in the mall. And we've remained friends all these years. Long time, at least 30. So when you're a hairdresser, you do form a lot of friendships with your clients and with your co-workers. Are any of you out there hairdressers? I know Rhoda Stone was a hairdresser. She tells stories about that. If you haven't checked out her channel, go on over. Check out her channel. She does a lot of cooking and prepping, and she has a lot of good ideas on the cheap. So, check out her channel. Another channel that I really love to watch is Creative Lori, and she lives on $25 a month. So if you haven't checked out her channel, go check out her channel. She does decorating and cooking, and she feeds homeless cats, and she loves animals. So check out her channel too. Lots of fun. So anyway, today I have my work cut out for me. But yesterday when I was planting seeds, I was doing it at the kitchen table, and it was actually very relaxing and very zen to me. So I enjoy working with the earth, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty, getting down into the soil. So I hope all my work is not for naught, and that my little baby seedlings have a good start. That's only the beginning. After that, they need lots of nurturing outside. So, anyway, I'll be back in a little bit with breakfast, day 117. Hey, breakfast, day 117. Let's see what we have in the refrigerator. It's not looking quite as jam-packed as it was, so that's a good thing. I still have this onion and this spaghetti sauce, and I still have lots of bread. I still have my yogurt, and we've all decided it's a rutabaga. So thank you to my subscriber whose husband straighten me out on that. It's a rutabaga, and I actually liked it when I ate a piece of it raw, so I may put some of that in a salad. I still have half my soup. I had some yesterday as a snack, so I'll finish that today so it doesn't go bad. But I think I want to cook up some eggs. I'll cook up about 4 of them. And maybe I'll have an egg salad sandwich. I can't get the eggs out like this. So I will meet you at the stove. Well, good morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about seeds and what I've learned about seeds. Now, I know a lot of you that are gardeners that have been gardening for a long time probably already know this, but I know a lot of people have been getting into gardening with everything that's going on because they want to grow their own food and they want to store their own food. So what I've learned about buying seeds is, a lot of people, and I saved these right here from 2019, and I got these from a huge store-bought red pepper. But these might and might not sprout. I've sprouted peppers from store-bought peppers before, and they didn't really produce much in the way of fruit. They sprouted, they grew leaves. The problem with store-bought peppers, unless it's an organic pepper maybe, but even those could be questionable because a lot of them are hybrids. And what a hybrid is, it has nothing to do basically with GMO, but a hybrid, they take two parents and they take the peppers that they want the trait from, and let's say you want a big red pepper, so they'll take genetics from the biggest peppers and the red peppers, and they'll cross-pollinate them. So if you want to save your seeds, it's best if you get either heirloom seeds or open pollinated seeds. That's what I've learned about saving seeds. So if you want to grow a lot of fruits and vegetables, that would be your best bet. Now I know some of those seeds can be pretty expensive, but if you can save the seeds till the next year, your initial investment will have been worth it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. It's fun growing things from store-bought produce, and I've done it myself. But if you want the best results, you sort of need to invest in a good quality seed. So I have tons and tons of seeds that are store-bought, and they aren't all heirloom, and they aren't open pollinated. They're just seeds. So sometimes you're better off just to buy the cheap seeds at the Dollar Tree if you don't have any money, or where you get a bigger bang for your buck, seeds on sale. You're better off just to buy those rather than go through all the effort and work of growing a store-bought pepper seed. So that's just from my experience. When I've done it in the past, I didn't have a good result. If you've had a good result, and let us know in the comments below and what you did to get a good result, because I'd like to know too. So another thing that I've been thinking about is actually overthinking. The process of overthinking, and I'm guilty of this myself. And a lot of times when you overthink something, you just never get to the actual doing of something. Or overthinking a lot of times produces some anxiety over whatever project it is you want to do. You're overthinking, like an example, for me, hanging my shelves in the kitchen, which I haven't done yet because I'm overthinking it. What if I make 10 holes that, in my wallpaper that I can't fix? You run all these what-if scenarios through your head rather than just going ahead and doing it. making a mistake, learning by that mistake, because a lot of times overthinking something doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to make mistakes. So I'm guilty of doing this all the time, and I need to stop doing that and just doing it more. That's like yesterday when I was planting seeds. I wasn't too worried about what if the seeds don't come up, what if I'm using the wrong growing medium, what if I give them, all these what if things. I was just sitting here at my kitchen table planting seeds, and it was actually very pleasant. There wasn't any of that what if nonsense going on in my head. So are you guilty of this? A lot of you guys do that too? Or do you just get in there and do it? I don't know, but it's something that I want to work on and just start doing more things and learning as I go rather than, having all these things going on in my head that if things go wrong. Now, I'm not talking about doing research on how to, that's a good thing. Look up, before you start, look up how to do this or how to do that. You don't want to go into a project totally blind, and getting ideas from other people that already have gone through the process is good. But overthinking is not a good thing. Even in the relationships with people, when you're overthinking, somebody says something to you, and then you start thinking, well, did they mean this or did they mean that? They may have just meant what they said. You don't have to overanalyze everything in life. It's not going to make you very happy. Sometimes you just take things at face value, and it just makes things easier. Okay, so that's all I wanted to chat about today. And don't what if, just do. All right, I'll be back with breakfast. I boiled some eggs, and I'm either going to have some egg and cheese sandwich, or I might make an egg salad. That sounds pretty good today. All right, I'll be back in a few minutes at the stove. Breakfast, and I still have some of this Walmart bread. So I'm going to have a couple slices of toast, and I'm going to eat one of my heirloom tomatoes that I bought the other day when I was at Mark's. So I have here a yellow heirloom, and they even have a little sticker on them that says that they're heirloom tomatoes from Canada. So I bought a yellow. I'll eat that today. And then I bought a couple more. I have no idea what kind of tomato this is. If you know, let me know. But it has the sticker. And then I got this Cherokee purple. I think that's what this one is. And then this big one, I'm thinking that's probably some kind of a beef steak. So the reason I bought these was, first of all, I'm sure they're delicious. And secondly, I want to start some heirloom seeds. So I also boiled some eggs, and I'm going to toast this. All right, well, I'm going to make a little bit of egg salad here, and I'm also going to have a tomato sandwich. So I have 2 slices of toast here, and save your eggshells. I have even the hard-boiled eggshells I save. I have a whole container, a big container of eggshells that I need to process for this coming up gardening season. So I have 2 eggs in here. I have a green onion top in here. I'm going to add some of this dill mustard. I got this at Walmart, and it's really good. So I'm going to put some of that in, and it's only 2 eggs, so not too much. And some of this mayo from my stash. So there we go. And then I'm just going to mash that up. And then I want to cut into this tomato because I want the seeds, but I'm going to eat it too. So I don't want to confuse it with sesame seeds here. Get rid of those. But when I picked these tomatoes out, I picked out tomatoes that were already ripe, not overripe, but that, you know, weren't green. So I'm hoping this works. I haven't done this before with heirloom tomatoes, but I figured people save the seeds from heirloom tomatoes all the time, so why not? And to me, it's fun to do these experiments in the kitchen and with your garden. I just think it's fun. So I just took the core out, and we'll see what's inside this tomato, and I'm hoping that it has some good seeds. I always use a steak knife to cut my tomatoes because it's serrated. So let's see. Yeah, it definitely has seeds. Not a whole lot. Not so far, but that's okay. It's plenty to start. I don't need 100 plants. So there's lots of seeds in there, plenty to start. And then I'm going to cut up the rest of the tomato and put it in a salad. But here, I just have some seed starting mix with my 2 cups. This one has a hole in it, this one does not. So I'm going to put the seeds in here. But for now, I'm going to have some breakfast first. But I'm just going to remove the seeds that I can see. And these are not sprouting like my other tomatoes, my vine tomatoes that I did this with. These seeds aren't sprouting. And they're a fairly big sized tomato, or seed. Now, some people ferment the seeds before they plant them. I've never done that. I've just planted them, and they've come up just fine. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, I'll be back shortly, and I'll show you my breakfast. So, these are all the seeds I got out. There weren't a ton of seeds in this tomato, and that's fine. It's plenty to start a tomato garden. And here is breakfast, day 117, egg salad with tomato. All right, my friends, I'll be back later. I'm going to plant these seeds, and I have my usual 2-cup arrangement. So I'm just, some people just plant a whole slice, but I'm going to eat the tomato, so I'm just going to take some of these seeds. And I plant it with all the stuff on it too. You know, all the jelly, for lack of a better term. I don't rinse them or anything. And I've always had pretty good luck germinating store-bought tomatoes. So I don't want to put too many in here. I'm going to make a 2nd cup, and then we'll see what comes up. So that's plenty. And then I'm just going to cover these with a little bit of soil tamp them down. I'm trying to spread things out in here a little bit. But you're going to have them where they're kind of connected. And you can try and get them apart after they germinate. So I'm going to go ahead and make a second cup, and then that's plenty. 2 of these is plenty, and if I get, 10 plants out of there, I'll be happy. All right, so that's all there is to it. Try your hand at sowing an heirloom tomato. You might have good luck with it, especially if you have a favorite one. Because I was looking on Amazon, and some of the heirloom seeds are like $5, $6. That's getting to be very expensive. All right, I just wanted to show you all the seedlings that I got from the vine tomatoes that I planted, I think it was last week. I mean, they are doing phenomenally. Lots and lots of seedlings. Since this was a store-bought tomato, I'm not exactly sure what will come up, but we'll definitely have tomatoes. So anyway, there you go. It does work, and they do bear fruit, but like I said, they're hybrids, so you don't know if they're going to be like plant A or plant B. So I need to separate these and plant them up, and this is how I ended up with so many tomatoes last year, which I said I would not do this year. But there you have it. I wanted to show you too all the little roots in there. There's even one coming out the bottom. So these definitely need to go in separate containers or pots. And then I just water them by putting a little tiny bit of water in, and they soak it all up. This is the first year that I've been trying to grow things this way, and I really, so far, I think it's a good system. All right, these guys are still little, but we'll let those go. And these really all need to find a home. Okay, my friends, it's time for this girl to have some dinner. Let's see what we have. All right, I have this onion and this cucumber, and I still have that half a yellow tomato, so I'm going to make some cucumber and tomato salad. I also have this lemon juice for the salad. And I have my soup that I need to eat up that I made the other day. And I would like a roll. I'm going to have one of those. And I know it doesn't look pretty, but it's still good. I'm going to have the rest of this brie cheese on my roll. All right, that's going to be dinner. Day 117. I'll meet you at the stove. All right, good evening, friends. So I cut up my yellow tomato. Thank you very much for your seeds. We'll see how that works. So I've been thinking, since I'm getting so many tomatoes that I didn't want to plant, but did anyway. Well, I did want to plant them, but I didn't think they'd all take, so anyway, I'm thinking what I'm going to do, if I have like way too many, and my family members don't want them, then I might just put a little table outside of my house with some free plants, and everybody can take what they want. So, and the only thing I'll be out is a plastic cup, which is no big deal. So we'll see. Last year I did give some away to a friend of my son's. My son took some. So we'll see. But I wanted to tell you what I planted so far. I have a whole list here, and I don't know, I'm going to plant some things directly outside too. So I planted ground cherries, strawberries, peppers, pimentos, pak choy, cabbages, chard, eggplant, Malabar spinach, and Thai spinach. Now the Thai spinach is spelled T-Y-E-E, and I had to get that online. I've never seen it around here, you know, so I don't know. But like I said, I tried some at a nursery, and it was really, really good. Very fleshy and large leaves, and not bitter at all. It was very tasty. So I'm going to try and grow it and see how that works out. So I'm just going to cut up some onion and cucumber, and I'll be back. Okay, well, I ate the inside of the cheese, and the dogs got the rind, and they loved it. So I'm going to make my tomato and cucumber salad with red onion. I just cut everything up, and there's no recipe for this. It's basically to taste. And I used up all the cucumber and all the tomato. There's still some onion left, but that's a good thing. I can use that for other things. This is lemon pepper. I'm going to put a good heaping thing of that on here, because cucumbers take a lot of salt. I've got some garlic powder. And I've got some onion powder. I like onions. They don't always like me, but I do like onions. And then some of this lemon juice. And I do want to use this up before it goes bad. I could also freeze it. Alright, I'm just going to stir that up and let it sit while I heat up my soup. So I'll be back when I get this all put together. Okay, here is dinner day 117. My homemade soup, a roll with some cheese. So I used up all the brie cheese. It's all gone now. All the soup is gone. And I used up my tomato and my cucumber and part of my red onion. So there we have it. Dinner day 117. All right, I'll be back and say goodbye after I eat my dinner. Dinner was delicious and very filling. That'll be it for my food intake for today. Unless I have some tea and a cookie or something. I might later, I don't know. I don't always have a sweet snack because I'm not that big on sweets. But sometimes I like a piece of chocolate, or I like those chocolate peanut butter cookies that I get from Aldi. They're very good. So I had a very busy day planting lots of seeds. So we'll see what comes up. I did plant things in those pucks, and they were still hard, so I had to smush them all, and then I stuck seeds in there. So I don't know how those will turn out, because they were wet, but they were still hard. So I didn't put the dome on them yet. I figured I'd let them dry out just a little bit because they were kind of soggy and I don't want the seeds to rot. So, and I have them on the heat mat, so maybe that'll help them germinate. And maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll put the grow dome on top of them. If nothing else, at least I use those up and it's a couple less things in my house that are just sitting around. So, are you guys starting seeds inside? Do you just wait and do it outside? I know I'm in, I think it's 6A here in Ohio. I don't know, every year I kind of get into this a little bit more. It's helped a lot since I set up my little grow station, but I'm thinking I need a little bit bigger one. I don't know, we'll see. I have to see how much produce I can actually grow in my garden without overproducing the amount of food that I have, because like I said, I only have the one freezer now and it's still full. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but as far as freezing extra produce and things like that, there's not enough room for that. Maybe sometime, but I'm thinking down the road I'll get just a very small 7 cubic foot chest freezer that I can use for excess produce. If I have, greens or whatever, I can freeze it in there for the winter and then just keep my indoor freezer, well, my regular freezer, for food that I eat all the time. We'll see. There's no big hurry. Right now I'm still working on cooking down the freezer, and I still have a freezer full of food at my mom's. So I'm not ready to bring more over, but that's what I'm going to do before I buy new for this freezer. Now the only thing that I did buy new was some vegetarian-based chicken products because I wanted to try them out. But I'm not going to continue to do that unless I find one I really like. Then I'll only replace it when what I have is gone. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. It's been great visiting with you. I always enjoy your comments, so don't be shy. Leave a comment below. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.